this is the fight for Shakur, because I don't think he's had a fight like this, a platform like this, an opportunity like this to truly showcase how great he is. And this is where special people provide special moments.
In a recent interview, Eddie Hearn praised William Zepeda as a tough fighter who never gives up inside the ring. However, it was Hearn's surprising prediction of a stoppage that truly caught everyone off guard. Alongside other fights on that night, he described Shakur versus Zepeda as a great fight and a huge opportunity for both fighters. With such high stakes, this matchup promises to deliver excitement and drama.
Because Zepeda's a proud man. You know, and that's why I love this fight so much, because you know with Zepeda, one, he's got heavy hands, but he's got a heavy heart. And he will not give up. And, you know, I just feel like he's going to keep coming. And when I said to you earlier, Versace, about the style, like, he's actually got a good style to maybe have success, but also a bad style to maybe be schooled. Do you know what I mean?
Most notably, in his prediction of the Shakur versus Zepeda fight, he made a bold prediction, foreseeing a stoppage victory for Stevenson. He thinks Shakur's skill and plan will prevail in the later rounds of the bout. Hearn is certain that Stevenson's technical prowess will give him the advantage over a player like Zepeda, even though some fans dislike his style. In anticipation of the crucial match, this prediction has undoubtedly increased enthusiasm.
And I actually think Shakur's going to stop Zepeda. And I know that people, you know, have this kind of perception that Shakur is not a puncher and, you know, he just fights off the back foot. Yeah, don't get me wrong, he's technically fantastic. But I think the style of Zepeda will suit him, and I think he'll pick him off. I think he'll hurt him to the body, and I think he'll stop him late in the fight.
Furthermore, regarding Shakur's recent hand issues, Hearn made it clear that it's the landing of too many punches which makes his hands get into trouble. He further clarified that while his hands are currently fine, the intense action ahead might take a toll again. His next fight against the aggressive Zepeda is expected to present this same problem. Despite the dangers, Shakur is probably going to try to throw strong blows, loving the heat of the fight. Moreover, Eddie also gave some latest information from Shakur Stevenson's training camp and talked about the other fights going to happen on the July 12th card, and made interesting predictions for those fights too, which we will discuss later in this video. For now, we discuss what other pros think who will win this fight.
At the moment, he's had all the checks, his hands are perfect, but in a fight where you're landing a lot of punches, you know, a lot of power punches against an aggressive fighter, I've not actually touched Zepeda's head, but by the looks of things, especially on that backdrop behind you, it looks like it's extremely hard. And, you know, I'm sure that the hands will, you know, be knocked up in this fight, but it is what it is. You know, the one thing you can't do is show any signs. Yeah. You know, and you got to find a way through.
First of all, Johnny Nelson, echoing Eddie Hearn's prediction, also hopes Shakur wins, but not by stoppage. In his analysis, Nelson underlined that Shakur will have to work hard to defeat Zepeda and that this won't be an easy task. While praising Zepeda's remarkable knockout percentage, he cautioned Shakur that strength alone is not enough in this battle. Given Zepeda's relentless style and aggressive nature, Nelson believes he can't afford to take anything lightly.
I think Stevenson's going to have to work for the win. He's going to have to use his skills. He's going to have to use his every little bit of experience he's got to make sure he gets this job done. Because if he tries to fight Zepeda at Zepeda's fire, you know, Zepeda's a good offensive fighter. Southpaw coming forward, he's strong, he's persistent, he's consistent, varies a shot from the body to head. And so if Stevenson thinks, you know, ego gets involved, thinking, you know what, I'm going to break you down. I'm looking at your record. You've won every one of your fights. You've knocked 27 of them out. I think he's got an 82% knockout success ratio.
Furthermore, Oscar De La Hoya weighed in on the fight, noting that while Shakur's style isn't easy to crack, it's certainly possible. He also commended Zepeda for being a persistent puncher who could deliver a steady stream of blows. Because of that balance, he thinks this matchup will be exciting. This type of evenly matched fight is exactly what makes boxing so fascinating.
It's interesting because Shakur Stevenson is a master class boxer. He has a style. He has a style that not many people can crack. Obviously, you can crack it. There's many ways of cracking that style, and I believe Zepeda has that style. Punches and bunches. I mean, he literally throws 1,000 punches a fight. How is Shakur gonna overcome that onslaught of just relentlessness, round after round after round? So it's going to be a very interesting fight. It's going to be a fun fight.
Moving forward, Shakur Stevenson himself confidently stated that on fight night, he'll prove just how great he was in his recent battles. He thought about how critics had minimized his abilities with weak reasons following his previous victories. However, there won't be any space for skepticism or rejection this time. The actual fighter and the person with the most power in the ring will finally be shown to the world.
After I go smoke Williams and Zepeda, because we're going to put belt to After I put belt to ass, they gonna make up a new excuse. Oh, well, it ain't Tank. And then after I whoop Tank, it's gonna be, oh, well, he did that because it was this. It's always gonna be an excuse to why we so great. But I think all of this comes with the territory. I'm happy that all of this is happening. And when it's all said and done, that's when they gonna realize how great I was.
In response to Shakur, William Zepeda boldly warned him that fight night would be a surprise. Aware of the great chance that lies ahead, he is dedicated to rigorous preparation. For Zepeda, this fight represents an opportunity to quiet skeptics. Not just a fight, he is committed to leaving his mark on the boxing world and making a statement.
Sabemos que es una pelea difícil, las cualidades de Shakur, pero vamos a preparar al máximo porque tenemos una gran oportunidad y vamos a aprovecharla y a demostrar. Gracias. Y que se esperen ese día.
Additionally, in his analysis of the bout, Keyshawn Davis also stressed Zepeda's unrelenting aggression and violent style of fighting. He admitted that Shakur faces a difficult task because Zepeda won't keep anything back. Nevertheless, Davis thinks Shakur's fire will be fueled by all the criticism and discussion. Confident and composed, he predicted Shakur would rise to the occasion and secure the win.
Anyone say anything after the fight, they just a Shakur hater. Yeah. That's all. They don't want him to look a certain way or be a certain way. Because one thing we do know, Zepeda is going to let his hands go. He's not going to do what De Los Santos did. And that's the difference between those fights. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be a prime, pressure fighter versus a boxer type fight, I can't wait for that fight because I can see Shakur actually stepping to him.
Yeah, kind of like the Padley fight.
Yeah, I can see Shakur stepping to Zepeda. I really can.
Moreover, Greg Hackett called the upcoming showdown a great fight and an intriguing clash of styles, one that promises fireworks from start to finish. He pointed out that Zepeda and Shakur will both arrive totally dedicated and prepared to give it their all. Hackett thinks Shakur will have to labor through the night to keep ahead of Zepeda's unrelenting pressure if he wants to prevail. Zepeda will try to do what he does best, which is to put his opponent to the test and see how strong and skilled they are. And in doing so, Hackett says, we're likely to witness the very best version of Shakur Stevenson yet.
Saying this, compared to a Shakur Stevenson, Zepeda don't have nothing but the pressure, and he gonna have to bring a lot of it. And Shakur know he gonna have to be sharp all night, and Zepeda gonna have to be aggressive all night. So that's why Shakur said you're gonna see the best Shakur Stevenson, because he gonna have to bring the best. And I'm looking forward to that fight. Great fight. I feel the need to be great because you fight another fighter that's gonna come in there and give you everything that he got. Yeah, that's fair. And that's why we're going to see the best Shakur Stevenson. I believe that. I believe we're going to see the best Zepeda too, though. I mean, don't get it. I think we're going to see the best Zepeda, but I think that's going to force Shakur to be A-game all the way through.
What's more, in their opinions of the bout, Boxing Hall of Fame referees Bird and Bayless praised Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda as two extremely talented fighters with remarkable technical skill and ring IQ. They examined the crucial elements that would decide the result, highlighting Zepeda's unrelenting aggression and Shakur's keen defensive abilities. They believe that Shakur's ability to counter Zepeda's pressure and seize opportunities will determine the outcome of the fight.
Shakur, technically sound technical fighter, great defensive fighter. Question is, but is that going to be enough against someone who is coming and coming hard?
Yeah.
Who's got nothing but damage on his mind. Solid damage on his mind, and he doesn't get tired. He doesn't get tired.
Right.
He can go at the speed that he chooses.
As we know, the rivalry between Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda has been intense, marked by open callouts and severe warnings exchanged between the two. Their heated words have fueled the anticipation, creating a palpable tension leading up to fight night. Both fighters have made it clear they're ready to back up their trash talk inside the ring. As the night approaches, all eyes will be on them to see who can turn their bold claims into victory. Heading towards the preparation of the fighters, besides the predictions and the beef, both fighters are pushing their physical limits as July 12th approaches, committing to grueling training regimens designed to sharpen every aspect of their game. Shakur Stevenson is focusing on enhancing his speed and agility, ensuring that his movements in the ring remain fluid and precise. Furthermore, his rigorous training regimen is designed to increase his stamina so he can fight at a high level. His routine heavily relies on strength training, which gives him extra force for each hit. In order to keep strong and prevent injuries, he is also making time for healing and flexibility. In addition, everything is carefully thought out to get him ready for the special challenge that is ahead. He is driven to prove himself on fight night, which keeps him mentally focused. His dedication to leave nothing to chance in the quest for triumph is demonstrated by this methodical attitude.
Opponents, I know that they working hard and they trying to work harder than me and beat me. And other boxers, like I know that other boxers is putting on great performances, and I want to outdo other boxers. Like I'm very competitive. Like I want to compete and be the best. I want all the fans to say Shakur Stevenson is better than the next person, so that's why I work extra hard.
On the other side, William Zepeda is equally dedicated to reaching peak physical condition, knowing that his aggressive style requires exceptional stamina and power. His training emphasizes building explosive strength to deliver those relentless punches he's known for. Most importantly, intense training sessions are intended to maintain his relentless tempo from the first bell to the last round. To ensure he can maintain the strain without losing intensity, Zepeda is putting a lot of effort into increasing his endurance. His regimen also includes flexibility and recuperation, which keep him in peak condition and prepared for the challenges of combat. Additionally, his preparation is focused on sharpening his timing and precision, making sure every strike counts. With a disciplined mindset, he's determined to capitalize on this opportunity and make a statement. Every training session brings him closer to the goal of coming out on top on July 12th. Besides, in a recent update on Shakur's training camp, Eddie Hearn expressed confidence in the way things are going. According to him, the team is feeling upbeat and the preparations have been going well. There is a genuine sense of purpose behind each session, and expectations are high. Hearn also disclosed that in order to improve their strategy, they have been carefully examining previous bouts. They're preparing to come in sharp and ready because they're facing a whole different kind of opponent this time.
Camp's going great, sparring's going great, hands are great. But sometimes in a fight, anything could happen. You know, I feel like the adrenaline, the Padley fight was a little bit different because it was a tough fight for Shakur in the sense that he was up for the Schofield fight, but he always felt like Schofield wasn't going to make it into the ring, weirdly. And then he got Padley, and it's a one-sided fight. This is the one where he's got the bit between his teeth. So I think in Shakur's mind, it's by any means necessary, whatever it takes.
Now, let's talk about the other fights that Eddie Hearn predicted along with Shakur versus Zepeda. While talking about the Hamza Shiraz versus Berlanga fight, Eddie Hearn described both fighters as great guys and the fight as an intriguing matchup. He praised Shiraz's boxing skills, but admitted that in his last outing, Shiraz didn't quite do justice to his talent. Hearn thinks that if Shiraz had really put his best effort into that bout, he could have won. He is now optimistic that this time, Shiraz will reach his greatest potential. Given the stakes, he anticipates that Shiraz will give it his all and gain a well-earned triumph.
The more I think about this fight, the more intriguing it gets. I mean, I think Hamza, by the way, is one of the nicest fellas you could ever meet. I mean, he's pure class, Hamza. I don't think he did himself justice last time out. I think he was stuck at 160 far too long, right? And I think in the end, he started to look a little bit frail. I don't think he had the confidence in his chin, in his resilience. I don't think he had the confidence at that level. And I said to him in New York, if you would have put your foot on the gas in that fight.
Moreover, Hearn further spotlighted David Morrell Jr. versus Imam Katayev and Albert Puello versus Subriel Matias as can't-miss fights alongside the main event between Shakur and Zepeda. He described these matchups as pure bloodbaths, where elite-level warriors will collide in the ring. Hearn promised that fans are in for a brutal, action-packed spectacle from start to finish. With world-class talent going head-to-head, the night is set to deliver unforgettable moments.
4 incredible fights. Morrell against Katiev will be an absolute bloodbath. It will be brutal. Matias against Puello, massive fight for the division. 2 real high quality fighters. Matias so dangerous. Every win he's had has come by a knockout. Shakur, who I think, as a 3-division champion, just turning 28 years of age, is a pound-for-pound great, a generational great, against an undefeated, huge-punching Mexican.
In short, the boxing community is buzzing with excitement ahead of the action-packed night featuring Shakur versus Zepeda and several other top-tier matchups. With each fight, fans are analyzing it with great interest and expressing their predictions and favorite picks. The decisions of many are supported by statistics, prior results, and personal allegiances. In the boxing world, the arguments are getting more heated as night falls. In the end, what do you think about the explosive showdown between Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda, along with the other thrilling fights set for July 12th? Will Shakur prove Eddie Hearn right and deliver a dominant performance with a stoppage win? Or will Zepeda's relentless pressure be too much, handing Shakur a shocking loss? Drop your predictions in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for further updates.